Talk Live. I am your host, Ann Dillard. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm licensed in the states of Minnesota and in Georgia. And I'm the host of Teen Talk Live. And also, I am the developer of the new workshop that's coming out this fall. It's called I Love My Daughter, But. All right, so y'all need to sign up for that workshop. I love my daughter, but we're gonna have sessions in Atlanta, in Minneapolis, and in Chicago. So look for the flyer, make sure you sign up for that. But tonight we have a really, really interesting topic. So if you have not done so yet, share this out. And I'm going to my business page right now to share it because I have a really, really interesting guest who's going to be talking about what happens after you drop your daughter off at college, right? So if you know somebody who's struggling with that, or if you know somebody, let's see, I need to pause it out. This always happens. So yeah, if you know somebody who's struggling with their daughter, dropping their daughters off at college, or it might be a son, you know, sometimes it's the same. So you know somebody going through that, share this video and invite them in. So let me just share this out real quick before I introduce my guest. Okay. She's in college. All right. So, and I will just invite my guests, go on my page and share that out also so that we can have this dialogue. Okay, so two really, really special young ladies to me. We have Miss Gena Foster and we have Miss Nicole Mayo. Hey, ladies.
Hello, hi, everybody.
Hello, 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 everybody.
All right, welcome to Teen Talk Live.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tonight we are talking, let me see, hold on, let me get this tech stuff together because I have to fix it so that I can see the comments.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think I can see the comments now. All right, so Chrissy is here already. Hey, Chrissy, you really should have been on this panel with us so we can talk about what is happening with moms after they drop their daughters off to college, right? And so, Nicole, let's start with you. I've been following you for a while, you know, watching you and talking with you, and how are you doing?
Well, actually, so I just want to, first of all, just say every day it's like, I feel like I'm, you know, it's a step in the right direction. When I first dropped, not even when I first dropped Kayla off, I moved to Texas like the summer, before summer started. So as soon as she graduated from high school. So me missing her started in June. So the whole June I cried because I was like, it hit me like 2 weeks after I moved to Texas. Like, not only did I just leave my daughter, she's not even coming to Texas. Like, when she leaves Minnesota, she's going straight to school. So I cried. It was very hard. It was very hard. I mean, like, I feel like in the course of like 3 weeks, I went through all the stages of grief, like every stage. So but it's gotten better.
Yeah, let me ask you this though. Do you think it started before even the summer, before you even moved to Texas? Do you think it did?
It did. Her whole senior year, we both knew that it was happening. So it was like a tug of war thing. It was like we were fighting, like crying together, fighting together, and we just wanted space, but we didn't want space. So it started. I noticed the signs like the summer before her senior year.
Right. And that is so typical, right? But if you haven't been through it before, you don't necessarily know that it's typical, or you're not even aware of why you're fighting.
Right. Because I was like, what is going on? And I was asking people way before, like Kayla's junior year, I was asking parents, like, what do you expect? Like, what to expect? And I don't care how much I tried to prepare, I was not prepared. I don't care how many people I talk to, because everybody's situation is different.
Right.
I had Kayla my senior year of high school, and I didn't go away to college, so I didn't know what to expect in that aspect. And not only that, um, she was with me my whole adult life. It was kind of like we grew up together, you know.
Right.
So it was like literally every day, and even now I feel like I'm living with my heart on the outside of my body, and I don't even know how to explain it, but it hurts. Like, she's not coming home, and I mean, like, it's weird because she'll text me like, "Mom, what's your address?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, we both live here. And she's like, "Well, I live at school." So I'm like, it's weird. It hurts.
Yes. Yeah. And I can identify with that, and it's yeah, it's certainly a difficult place to be. So I
Yeah.
just want to acknowledge that pain, because it's a difficult place to be. Let me just pause for a second to welcome our guests in. Again, Chrissy is here, and Chrissy just dropped off Rachel at school. So Chrissy, feel free to chime in. Tanya's here. Joseph say, hey everybody. Alwyn, Minister Foster is here. Thank you for joining us, and feel free to give your perspective from a dad's point of view. And Joseph say, great point. Every situation is different, and he said, thank you for sharing, which is really good. So where is Kayla going to school?
Kayla is at Graham Fam. No, I'm just kidding. She's at Grambling State University. Grambling State University in Louisiana, in Grambling, Louisiana.
Awesome. All right. So let me pause for a second and just welcome Minister Gena Foster. Hey, Gena.
Hey, hey, hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Busy, 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 as you can see.
Yes, you got your hands full. Somebody's trying to go to sleep. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. I know you're in the midst of getting the kids down and everything, but thank you for coming on Team Talk Live. So,
Pleasure, my pleasure.
Yeah. So, Alwyn say, hey, Gena.
Hey, Elder Foster.
So tell us about your baby girl, and where is she, and leading up to you dropping off her school.
Well, since you asked,
She's okay, Morgan State.
Morgan State University, Baltimore, Maryland. So yeah, we dropped Kay off last Tuesday. We got there Sunday. Long road trip from Atlanta to Maryland because we went to convention. So we get there Sunday. The first place we go to is her dorm. And so I've never been to college either, university. Like you, Nicole. I did not go to a university. I wanted to, but life happens. So right. We walk in the dorm and I see nothing but young Black women all over the place, honey. They let me know that I wasn't 18, 19, 20, 21 no more, okay? They was no hair out of place, just flawless, honey. School ain't even started yet. I said, look at this. I said, I was overwhelmed and I ain't even going. I was like, oh my gosh. And at first I'm looking at the campus and I'm like, it's okay. But I don't know if I really would have went this route? Because I'm looking at, the dorm just looked like an old regular brick dorm, nothing special, not modern, But when we went to orientation and the band came out, I said, okay, I'm so, I see why we want the HBCU experience.
I'm talking about.
I want the HBCU experience, So then I told my husband, I said, yeah, after the band, I was done. I was sold out, So, I didn't voice my opinion because, at this age, your kids, everything mom say is wrong and everything they say is right. So we just gonna leave that alone. And I was like, all right, she's good. And so we drop her off. We, get the stuff she needs to get. And so I'm thinking in my mind, I'm going to come back the next day and help her decorate her room.
Okay.
Go in the room, please. Honey, she must have, I think I called her that night to check on her. And she was like, yeah, Mom, we in here like 6 of us and we're getting out of my room done and they helped me fold my clothes. Oh, okay. So it's definitely, you don't need mama no more. So I didn't say nothing. I was like, oh, that's good. Okay. Right on with the right on. You know what? And then I instantly heard God say, but you raised her to be an independent woman.
Yeah.
You raised her to be independent and to be able to, break free from you. And honestly, it really has not yet set in.
Wow.
It has not set in that my baby is now a young adult, a woman, and she may not come back to live with me again. It hasn't set in yet.
Wow.
No, because
what do you think hearing that, Nicole? When Gena said she may not come back to live with me.
I know. So for me, when I moved to Texas, I was like asking everybody, like, do you think I should get a 2-bedroom apartment or a 1-bedroom apartment? And I'm like, I don't want to make Kayla feel like she can't come home. So I'm like, I'm just going to get a 2-bedroom. So even if she doesn't come home, she will still come and visit or have other people visiting. So I'll just have the 2-bedroom. But that does, like, it that has not set in for me. But the whole room thing, like, I cannot share that with you because when I got on Grambling campus, I'm saying, first of all, they were like, are you the student? I was like, yeah.
Right.
That's my cousin. Kayla's my cousin. No, I'm just kidding. But the atmosphere was amazing. And I don't know if Kay is in any sports, but Kayla is a cheerleader.
Okay.
Kayla has been cheering since she was 9 years old. So I kind of like molded her for this. Like I put her in position to, for this to be something that she carried on throughout college. Mm-hmm. And she is a cheerleader at Grambling State University. So that's one thing I did not worry about Kayla, like making friends or being social, because she's very much like me, super social butterfly, can be comfortable in any setting. But when I tell you, when I dropped Kayla off, it was nobody on campus but the cheerleaders, the band people, the dancers, and the football players, everybody who had to prepare for the upcoming games in a few weeks. And so none of the other students were on campus. So Kayla had practiced like 4 times that day. So she left me in her room to like put her clothes away, go grocery shopping. And like I did all of that. I did her room, and she doesn't have a normal dorm room. So Kayla has a private room, like where she sleeps by herself.
Okay.
There's 4 bedrooms in her dorm. She only shares a bathroom with one other person. So I was comfortable in there doing everything by myself. However, the following week, all the other students came. So me as the person, like, I want to come and bring your stuff. A, I was missing my baby. B, I was just like, just give me an excuse to go meet the other parents of the other kids that are in her dorm room. Because I'm like, look, I need to know you. First of all, let's get numbers. Let's exchange numbers because we are going to be their village.
Right.
So that was another reason why I went the following weekend to take her grocery shopping to make sure she was, keeping her room clean. Of course. Of course, making sure she was keeping her room clean. And to meet the other parents, because she has 3 roommates.
like dorm mates?
Yeah, they're dorm mates. So she shares a bathroom with one other person,
Okay.
but then like they have like a common area that they all share,
Right.
and then they have their separate bedrooms with like locks on the door.
So you said something really important that I want to piggyback to, and Elder Foster said, "Yep, she was sold after she heard the band." And Chrissy said, "OMG, yeah, Chrissy, there's a lot of OMGs here." So Nicole, you said something really important that I really want to go back to. You said Kayla's been active in cheerleading since she was 9 years old, and you said you have prepared her for this. So my question is, how have you prepared yourself for this?
I have not prepared myself. The only thing that I can say, preparing me for it is just talking to other people. I position myself around people who was going through or still going through or have been through before. So
Right.
a lot of the people who I talk to, who I'm venting to, who I'm crying with, we are all have either been through it or going through it at the same time.
Right. So that, that's, I think if we're looking at our guests who may be going through this, looking forward to going through this next year, that could be something that they can also start doing, is preparing themselves while you're preparing your daughter to go through this experience. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I've noticed is that if you're not ready, they're not going to be ready. And although it hurt me to send her off, she knew that I was ready to send her off.
Okay.
But
I understand what you're saying, because being ready doesn't mean you're gonna avoid the tears and the
right
all the stuff that goes along with it.
Right, but like, so just for instance, like some kids don't go to school, and I feel like, and this is just from my own experience, family experience, I feel like they don't go because their parents haven't put it out there for to say, not only is this the expectation, but this is also something that I went through that you need to go through. And although I didn't go through it, I placed Kayla around people who did go through it, like people, other role models in her life. Like my best friend went away to college, like just other people in her life has been through college experiences or sending their kids off to college. So I've always made sure I put Kayla in that atmosphere. And not only that, her seeing me go through education since she's been in the 5th grade. Like I started my associate's degree when Kayla was 10, and I finished my master's when she was a junior in high school.
Right. So that was always the expectation, that she goes to college. And you know what? The reality is, I've had parents who have said that they're not sending their children away to college because, like you said, they're not ready, and they are still living their life through their children.
Right. I'm living my life through Kayla, just on the other side. Because when homecoming comes, I'm being homecoming. They're gonna be like, you done had a whole nother experience, yeah.
So Gena, tell me, I know that your family structure is a little different from Nicole. So KK is off to school and you're home. However, you have your husband is there and you have 3 other children. How is that for you? Not having, and you had Kaylin when you were young too, right?
I was 22, 23, one of them. 23, okay. I had Kay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I had Kay.
And so you all have been together y'all been rolling together for a while.
Years. Yep, 13 years before, no, actually 15, was it 15 years? Or 13, 14, one of those years, 13, I think, before the other ones start rolling in. We were together, me and Kay, and then of course Gabby, was there too.
Right.
So I was always been the one in the family to always have people around me, or taking care of people. With her not being here, though, it's quite different because she was the eldest child. She was my help, when I need something real quick, she can grab it and get it. Her chores are no longer, she doesn't have to worry about those anymore. I'm sure she's shouting in her dorm room because she doesn't have to do the dishes and make sure this is done and all this and all that. And I think it was last week, Monday, Alan was like, have you noticed Kay not being here yet? And I said, absolutely. Because I walked in that kitchen, I was like, now she knows she got to put these dishes up. Oh, no, she don't, because she ain't here.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So you still want to call her to do stuff.
Still want to call her to do stuff, or to get things done or to help me with stuff, so now I have to do it myself. I have to do it myself because my kids are way younger. They're 4, 2, and 7 months. So, now I have to go back to doing the chores. And now I have to flip my whole schedule, to, a different day now. Start dinner way earlier in the day because I don't have that extra help. So your whole schedule changes. The dynamics of the house completely changes when that child leaves, and if they're a help to you, which they are, which she was.
Right. And so tell me, how have you noticed the other children responding with her being gone?
So I reset it the other day. We were driving home and he was like, Mom, I miss KK. And I was like, oh, you do? And so I said, well, we have to call her and tell her, because I know before she left, Alan would say weekly, Caitlin's going to leave. He was prepping the kids, Caitlin's going to leave. And Ivy was like, yeah, I know she's leaving. She's going to school. And we looked at each other like, he did not just say that like that. And was like, oh my gosh, Ivory. And he was like, yeah, whatever. But now it is reality. And he called her yesterday and you said, well, tell Kay what you said to us. And he was like, hey, I miss you. And he was like, I look on your bed and you're not there no more. And
oh, wow.
You about to make me cry.
Oh my Jesus, stop it.
Wow.
He said,
like, that is just amazing.
4. He's 4. So you can tell now, 4 years old, the mind is, they can understand, the reality set in for him that she's not home. She hasn't been home. So she said, well, I'll be home in a couple of months. He said, I thought it was a couple of months.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I said. I feel the same way. I feel like 2 months since I dropped Kayla off at school.
I thought it was a couple of months. So they're doing good. Alina, she's straight. She was playing outside. So she like, hey, Kay, I'm playing playground. I'll talk to you later. But Ivory does notice. But I noticed right before she left. So I would say it took Kay a month before she left. And she would say for the past 7 months, Mom, I'm about to graduate. Mom, I'm about to go to college. Mom, I'm about to be out of here. I said, yes, you are. Yes, you are. So she kept, saying that over and over and over again because she couldn't believe how fast the time came herself.
Right. Wow. Let me take a second just to welcome our guest. Hey, Marquisha, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Kevin, thanks for being here. Chris Worrells, hey, thanks for being here. Hey, Julia, I'm so glad you're here. Hey, you just did this last year, right? Was it last year Julia did this?
Yeah.
And Chris said, LOL, Nicole.
Graham fam
here, and he's getting ready to enter senior year with his girls, and that's going to be interesting because 2 of them will be leaving at the same time.
Wow.
Yes. So this is,
you get double the tears.
yes. Okay. And again, this year, that's right, because her daughter went and then her son went. Oh my goodness. So Julia, feel free to chime in and let us know how it is for you. Because like we're talking about, the family dynamics change. And so you have to figure out how to fill that void without making that child feel, or keeping them still connected to the family.
Right.
right? Because you know you're gonna go on, but you want to make sure that you're carrying them along with you.
Right. Thank God for technology.
I'm talking about I FaceTime Kayla like 3 times a day, if not more, at the very least 3 times a day.
You're so funny.
I'll be like, is she at practice? I'll be like, hey Kayla, where are you? She'd be like, Mom, I'm in the calf. What's up? I'll be like, Mom, I'm on the quad. I'm like, Kayla, first of all, don't talk like you just been doing this all your life.
But she's busy though. That's what it is. She's busy.
Like,
It's her by
she called me today and she's like, oh my God. So first of all, she never calls me. So the fact that she called me, I'd be like, let me answer the phone. So she called me today and she was like, I really like my classes, all except for this one. So I'm thinking about changing this one out. And like, I literally shed a tear. Like, she is really in college. Like, she's like, so, and then the fact that she's communicating with me still, like, what do you think about me dropping this class and picking this class up? Or, you know, I think this is what I want to do because I'm not really ready for a history class. I really don't like history. So I'd rather do that at the end of, you know, before I go into my major classes. So we had that conversation on the phone today. And I'm just like, my whole heart was just like really big. And then I was in a car and she's like, Mom, where are you going? So the fact that she was making small talk, I really felt like I'm not going to lose my child. I'm not going to lose her because I promise you, as bad as we fought and like every day, it really felt like it was the end of the world. Like, sometimes I caught myself walking on eggshells. Like, do I say hi? Like, do I say good morning? What do I say to this kid? In my, like, I'm the adult, but I was, you know, there was times where I was just like, I'm just not ready to fight with her today.
Yep.
So hearing her, you know, like hearing her say, oh, my dad is going to do this and this is what I need and blah, blah. So like, I really feel like our connection is coming back.
That's amazing because I remember when our kids were getting ready to go away. It was just like, you know, we were bumping heads. And it's, you know what, I learned later that that's a natural part of separation. Nice. We just didn't know it, you know, that's what was happening. And the other piece that happened was when they came home, before it's time for them to go back, we would have that clash again. And it was almost like we're setting it up so that, okay, I want you to be ready for me to go kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is again, it might be a maladaptive way of separating, but when you don't know that that's what's happening, then that's what you resort to.
Right.
And Julia said Eric is the glue to our family, and he left again last year, and I miss him. He left last year, I miss him, but since I did this last year, it's not as bad with Nicole. She leave that she said leave that child alone. That's for Nicole. She said, Nicole, leave that child alone. She said instead of calling Kayla 3 times a day, call her.
And then I told her, I was like, Kayla, okay, so I'm not gonna call you that much, but you have to at least text me once a day. Like, I need to know. You don't have to call me, just text me like, hey Mom, I'm good. Because like I will die. I will probably drive to Grambling 3 hours. Have you seen that video going around on Facebook? That will be me. I will be that mom.
Like, the mom who shows up.
I am in here. I did not move 3 hours away for nothing.
But you know, everybody have their process. Everybody have their process, right? So, Gena, what are some of the things that you're doing to go through your process of withdrawal?
Like I said, honestly, for me, it really hasn't set in yet. And because I have 3 other little responsibilities and a husband, I'm busy. So, you know, my mind isn't idle.
Right.
So I don't really have a huge void because I already had things in place. So when I was talking to Nicole, she was like, I'm going crazy. And I was like, well, now it's time for you. This is a new chapter for you too. And now you're going to have to find things to do for you now, because your baby girl, she busy. She got stuff going on. And then now you're sitting there twirling your thumbs like, okay, what am I going to do now? What I'm going to do now? See, and I said, if it was just me and Kay, I would probably be in the same seat. But because I have all this other stuff still surrounding me, you know what I mean? It really hasn't hit me yet. Or I'm like, oh my gosh, my baby's gone. She's never coming back. Like I say it to myself, and I know this, but like I said, I quickly heard God tell me, but you raised her to be that independent woman. So let her, let her be. And like Nicole, for me this morning, Kate called me and she was like, Mom, early in the morning, I'm thinking, what does she want? So I FaceTimed her back and she said, Mom, I need you to pray for me. I am so nervous. I'm like, pray for what? What's going on? And she was like, just classes, school, everything. I felt so good.
Right.
I felt so good because, and I knew the separation would help both of us and even help her see how much, we love her and I love her and care for her. But when you're in close counters and you're together, all that friction brings all those issues and problems. But when you are away, you can appreciate each other better. And so this morning when she asked me to pray, me and the kids, we prayed for her. And I said, thank you, God. Thank you, God, because she still knows what to do and who to call on.
Right. Yeah. Something, because when Manisha and Joseph were first going away, remember they went away for high school.
Right.
So yeah. We didn't even hit college yet. Somebody gave me some really good advice and she said, you've given them roots to grow and wings to fly. And so that's like the best gift. And their roots are formed in the foundation of Jesus Christ.
Right.
And we've taught them, we've had our, we've shared our family values. That's never been a secret. And so at some point we have to trust that, right? And trust the process that they will come back. They might not come back home physically,
right?
But we want to set it up so that they come to us and they reach out when they need us. And I think that's a really, really critical piece of the transition, because it's a natural thing. The transition is a natural thing. Think about, they were born to us, but since they were born, we were always moving them along and transitioning them. Right? We took them to preschool. For those who went to preschool, we took them to kindergarten.
Right.
We took them to high school. We let them go on overnight at camp. We let them do different things because they're building those levels of separation.
Right.
So that they can develop their own identity, so that they can learn how to navigate the world. Right.
Absolutely.
And then, let's say as they go into young adulthood, where another separation, and this was hard for me, was giving them away in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I realized that we had been doing this.
Kayla, I'm moving in with you and your husband.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Look, Nicole. So
first of all, do not judge me.
You ain't going in that house. No, ma'am.
Right? We've been doing this.
I said, I'll probably be that parent.
But you don't have to be, Nicole, because it depends on how you want to set it up.
Gena, do not laugh at me.
You cannot go on her honeymoon with her.
But what I can do, Miss Ann, is I can move into her house.
No, ma'am.
Have children.
Not. Give her some time. She gonna see you coming and say, give her some time first so she can bond.
You know what was interesting for me? Senior year, Kayla would say that. She would be like, Mom, you have to give me a chance to show you that I can be responsible. And when she said it, When she said that to me, I'm like, am I the parent or are you the parent? Like, but it just goes to show me how much I have instilled in her.
That's excellent. Now, did she work or she was in sports and cheering and stuff?
Kayla worked during the summer, but
Okay.
during school she didn't work because cheerleading in school was a lot.
Yeah, it is a
Like
lot.
Kayla cheered competitive cheer. She did football and basketball.
So she was really busy. So Kay, her last year, she was able to be independent more, and she had her job, and she had got her permit and everything. And I started to, like Kayla said, give her that leeway to be responsible, and to, because like I told Alan and other people, I don't want her leaving this house feeling like she's not ready.
Right.
I think Kayla was ready in 3rd grade.
Listen.
She was like, Mom, can I go to a boarding school? I'm like, first of all, Kayla, Zoe 101 is not real. No, you will not be going to boarding school at 8. But then like at 10, Kayla said to me at 10 years old, if you want a kid that's not gonna grow up, Mom, you should get a teddy bear. Like, I'm just like, we're not raising an adult.
Yeah.
But she knew at that early age that I was gravitating toward her. Like, I was like latched on. Like, none of the relationships that I, thought would work didn't work because my kid always came first. And if you can understand that, then you can keep moving. And like, I don't care because everything that I have, she's not going to ever want for anything because I'm going to make sure of that. But it was just like, I lost me and everything that I wanted to do and lend you up. And a lot of that stemmed from, I didn't have my parents growing up. And I overcompensated, like 100% overcompensated. And I know I did, but I don't know how else to raise my kid because no one else showed me.
Right. Well, hold that thought, Nicole. I think you've said a whole lot of good things right there. Joseph said, good conversation about separation. They will miss you too, but may have a hard time expressing it. It can be complicated because they kind of feel like they're glad to be on their own, but there's still no place like home. It's a transitional stage for everyone. And that is so true. And then he said something else. He said, I'm getting ahead of myself by talking about marriage. And I understand what he's saying, but I'm talking about the stages. We're always transitioning our kids. And the thing is, if we're not able to do it successfully at each stage, then we can cause fractions in our relationships that won't look good later on. And so the more successful we are in helping them to transition from stage to stage, the better and healthier our relationships can be, right? Yeah. But Nicole, you said something that was really, really critical. You said you had nobody to show you how. And I don't want you to feel like it's wrong or bad that you pour everything that you had into Kayla, because God knows I wish there were more mothers who would, prioritize their relationship with their daughters.
Right.
There's so kudos. So now that you're, developing these other skills, what are you going to do for you to help you through this transition?
I'm still figuring that out. Every day I wake up, but nope, nothing. I don't got it. I don't know what I'm going to do. The only thing that I can say is I've been reaching out to friends more,
right?
Talking to them about my feelings. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this year will bring a lot of emotion for me, like even more so than last year. Because last year I still had her home, whereas this year is just like it's just me. So as I was, telling a few people, maybe going back to teach, going into the classroom. So maybe I'll have 22 little babies and not just focus on the one that I don't have. That's not baby anymore. That's an option. Or, I don't know. I work in education, so I'm always talking to people, kids, students, adults.
Nice.
One thing I do notice that every conversation that I hold, whether today, it was 2 weeks ago, like Kayla is always in that conversation. Like I'm always bringing her up, and it's just like I didn't notice I was doing it until somebody said something about some shoes, and I was like, "Oh, Kayla," and it was like, "Look, we don't want to hear anything else about Kayla. I don't have anything else to talk about but Kayla. I need to get a life." And so I'm looking forward to traveling. I'm looking forward to, getting to know who I am outside of Kayla, while also supporting her at all the home games at Grambling, because I will be at every home game that she cheers at.
Well, that's good that and that's real. So thank you for being so transparent with that, because that's real. And I know you're laughing about it, but I know it's pretty painful for you also.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. And a lot of times in our community, we're not comfortable with grief and loss. And so somebody might say to you, get over it, whatever.
Yeah, that's rude.
And that could be insensitive, right? But there's so many different stages of grief, and it makes me think about one of the stages of grief is depression.
Yes, I think I went through every stage in like the matter of 2 weeks.
And the thing about it is, until you start doing other things, you'll keep going through those stages. It's not one and done.
Right. And it's so funny because I did. And when I tell you I went through every stage, and I look back and I was like, I was depressed. Like everybody would be like, why are you eating so much? And it's just like, it's comfort eating. But I knew that it was like, I'm depressed because when I leave work, and it was like, I would be at work for like 10 hours, go home, go to sleep, go get back up and go to do it all over again. Because I knew when I got home that I was going to be by myself. I wasn't coming home to Kayla. I wasn't, so it's just like all day at work, I was thinking about going home, but I'm like, when I go home, like there's no one there. Like when I first moved here, I slept with a hammer by my bed. Like it was horrible. Like
that girl said a hammer.
I'm just like, I'm in here by myself. Like I don't even have her in the next room. Like not that she can, save me or anything, but like it's just the thought of knowing she's there. Like I was angry. I was like really mean to people. And they're like, why are you so mean? If you don't like it, then don't be around me. Like, and it was just like, I can't treat people like that. But I see it every day. Like every day I see it. And it's not just the 2 weeks that I went through that. Like it's every day. So I have to, when I notice it, I have to pull back. So like I noticed I was eating too much. Like I would eat like everything, candy, gum. I was like eating hot chips. First of all, why am I eating hot chips? Like I know this stuff isn't good. You know what I mean? Like this is what Kayla would eat. Like I'm eating. And so like I had to, this weekend, like I had to say, you know what? I'm not eating any junk. I am putting myself on a limit. I am only eating these foods. So when I notice it, I have to step back.
Right. So have you found yourself a church family in Texas yet?
I found a really nice church. A lot of the churches here are really big. Oh my goodness, huge. So I don't want to be at a huge church. Like you can't even find the people. Like everybody, when you're at a mega church, like when they leave church, they all leave because they're not really there. They're just there to be like, oh, I went to church on Sunday. And I'm not judging them, but I'm just saying I need someone who is spiritually fed or spiritually like in there spiritually, because that's what I'm used to. And so I found it's a small church and it's really good. I haven't really been, but I'm going to join that church because it's very family oriented. And that's what I need.
That's a really good step, because I remember you know, even though sending our kids to boarding school for high school wasn't popular, we had our church family. And of course, we had Aaron at home after the older two went, but still, we had our church family, and that was a great source of support during that time.
Right.
Right. And, you know, there's church activities and different things like that in ways that I know you love to volunteer, you love to give of yourself, and you have, you know, so many gifts and talents. So I know that I believe that finding that church home would really, really be helpful.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you still won't feel all the other stuff. It just means that you'll have a channel and an outlet.
Yeah. I mean, so right now, like, I think I lean heavily, and I've always leaned on them, Preston and Lasagna. So like, I think I call Lasagna at least like once a week, and like you know, we have a talk, and she's like, how are you doing? Like, are you okay? And like, that helps me because I let it all out.
Right.
Everything. Just, no, I'm not. And because I can remember before Kayla even left, she would be like, how are you and Kay doing? Like, what's going on?
Right.
You know, because even when we were still in Minnesota, she would still call me. And so just being down here with her, it makes a lot of difference because I can see her if I needed to, you know. Lasagna has been a huge part of my support when Kayla was a kid, and you know, as she got older, and even now.
Right.
She is still like a huge part of my support.
I'm telling you, church family is amazing.
Yes.
Chrissy said, I think Nicole is on the right track, one day at a time. Way to go. Yes. And she should write down some of the things that she's always wanted to do or try and start working through that list. This might spark new interest that she doesn't even know she has.
Sounds like a plan, because I don't.
That's
People
good.
be like, why don't you go? I'm like, first of all, I'm not going to bingo. That's for old people. Only 37. Like, people be like, go to bingo. Like, no. Like, and it's funny because I was at Linnell and Theo's yesterday, and they were like, well, what are you doing? And they were like, what are your hobbies? I'm like, first of all, I like to shop. So it's retail therapy. It's my hobby. And Theo was like, that is not a hobby. Yes, it is.
So, you know, one of the things that I, when I help or work with parents who are going through transition is I always tell them, again, one thing is to form, the whole life is changing for everybody. So first of all, establish things and routines that invites your daughter back in to stay connected to the family, but know that things are changing, right? So how do you carry on and having this person on the peripheral, but still very much a part of your family, right? So Colleen won't be there for all the youth services like she's used to being at. But how do you keep her informed and engaged while she's also establishing a new life for herself? That's, you know, those are things to look at. And also, how do you carry on? And knowing that it's because they leave for college, it doesn't mean that they'll never come back. They might not live under your roof again, but they'll be back. And knowing the signs to look for, or when it's time to separate again, you'll know that, oh, that's why we're so crabby. That's why we're going at each other. And instead of using those what we call maladaptive methods, then you can use something more productive and talk to each other in a way that you're not trying to get out the door like I'm so ready to go kind of thing, right? I've been through that with my kids coming and going for 8 years, you know, between high school and college.
I understand how you did that.
By the grace of God and setting goals, and like Chrissy said, you know, figuring out what you wanted to do also, you know. and the new routines help. Technology is a great way, great way. And one of the things that I learned as a parent, or Joseph and I learned as parents with our kids away, you know, when there's gonna come a time when they're gonna call you and they're like, Mom, everybody hates me, the dean hates me, my roommate hates me, everybody hates me, kind of thing. And one of the advice that we got from their headmaster once was to send them back to the school, to let the RAs, let their deans, let the people at the school help them navigate. You know, because some of us parents will want to get in the car and go handle it, but as we're helping,
I am on my way, Kayla.
As we're helping them to navigate adulthood, right? Send them back. And it doesn't mean that, there won't be a time that you have to go handle your business, but let them exhaust all those resources that's right there for them first. And that helps them to get connected to their community and help you to know that they'll be taken care of. Right? But if they're not being taken care of, handle your business. Right? But give them a chance to help them navigate as well. Right?
I mean, like, I know, because, and I need to let go, but it's so hard, like, especially because, like, the fact that Kayla is in college, like, I've worked in education, like, her whole, pretty much her whole life. And so, like, when it came down to, her choosing classes, it was like, okay, well, let me help you with this, because this is what I do in my everyday life. I help students figure out their schedules.
Right. And
so it was kind of like, even with her advisor, he called me like, who you know down here where you can just get her put in classes and you ain't got to go through the middleman. And I was like, because I am the middleman. No, just like, when it's my kid, I'm going to go to the extent to make sure she's good. Whereas everybody was like, dude, you have to let her do it on her own. And it's like, I don't know how to do that.
Right. Well,
so how do I do that? How do I let go, especially when this is my profession?
Well, this is time, though. It's just going to take time. It's going to take. I'm in education too, and I'm sure Kayla said when she was younger, honey, Mom, can I get away? Can I get away? So she got it. It's just something you're going to have to do. And another and help me.
Not only will Kayla ask for my help, she will invite all her friends. Like, my mom can help you. She know what to do.
So, Nicole, let me ask you a question. What is your fear? What's your biggest fear?
I think my biggest fear has always been that she is going to forget about me.
Not gonna happen.
Like, that is like, and I'm about to get super emotional because it's hard, because my mom is here now. Like, she's in my life now, and she's very much a part of Kayla's life. Mm-hmm. But I don't have that connection that I see other people have with their moms. Mm-hmm. I don't have that, and I've always wanted that. And so, like, I want that with my kid. But I know the type of person that I am, that I feel like I'm pushing her away, and that those aren't my intentions. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not intentionally doing it. I'm really just trying to let her know, I got your back. I got your front, and I got your back. Right. So if you can't depend on nobody else, know that as long as I have breath in my body, you have it, regardless of what it is. And so that my biggest fear is that she's going to walk away like, deuces, like, I don't need you. So case in point, I've been there Kayla's whole life. I've never missed a football game, a cheerleading competition, a doctor visit, nothing. Even like her senior year, I was like, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. I'm not ever missed anything. But the moment her dad bought her this car, it's just like everything that I did prior, she forgot about it. And it was just like, did you forget I was there the whole time? And although I didn't say that to her, I felt it. And it was just like, I'm giving him his props. I don't ever want to take anything away from you. But don't forget that it's been me the whole time. Like, I didn't come in at the 99th hour and like, let me show you off with this car. Like, I don't, like, I would have sent you to school with a car. It wouldn't have been a 2018, but you would have had a car. But the fact that he bought her that car, and it was just like, Kayla, you've not ever wanted for anything. And I took my last. Like, I have friends on my timeline who's like, yeah, my kid is doing this, but I'm going to Vegas. Every trip that I've ever taken in my life has been a trip because Kayla had a cheerleading competition, or a trip because I wanted to show my baby that there is something else outside of Minnesota.
Nicole,
and it was all about her. Everything that I've ever done has always been about Kayla.
Can I just?
And so my biggest fear is that she'll pull away and she'll be like, it's, like, you're giving me too much of you.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say that first of all, thanks for sharing. That's real.
Right.
And as a therapist, I know that a lot of times when we see different things happening, it's because we're parenting from a place of fear. Not just as a therapist, just as a mom coming into that discovery. And so that's real. And the reality is, Kayla knows who you are. And there's nobody that will ever take your place. Things will change and things will shift, but nobody could ever take your place in her life. And I think it's you won't be insignificant to her. So she'll go places, she'll meet people, she'll do a lot of things, but you'll never be insignificant to her. No matter who comes in at the 99th hour, nobody can take your place in her life. And so if you allow her that space, I think it will allow you space also. And maybe some of the energy that you have for Kayla, maybe some of it can go towards building that connection that you want with your mom. And with that being said, here's a shameless plug. Anybody who's watching, feel free to sign up for my I Love My Daughter But workshop, where I'll teach exactly the same thing, how to build that strong connection and repair with your mother, between mothers and daughters.
Awesome.
Right? So I want to say this has been such a great conversation, great transparency. Yes, Chrissy, this has been so transparent and wow. So Gena, in closing, what would you say to parents who are getting their kids ready, or who are, just getting ready to drop off or gonna be dropping off within the next year? What's your advice on how to prepare the family, themselves, and their daughter?
I would say, and I have to give kudos to my husband because he did a lot of it. I didn't go to college, so I didn't really know what to do. Like Nicole said, I even called you and was asking what to, at the 9th hour, as far as the phones and all that stuff is concerned. Find out as much as you can that junior year, because that's when everything is really going to, start. Even before then, though, you can get your kids involved. Scholarships, grants, all that stuff. Nicole sent me some information because that was my biggest struggle, was the financial part. The kids can be accepted to 20,000 schools, but will you have the means for them to actually go? Tours, visit schools as much as possible too. Kids having in mind what you want to go, but you want to visit the schools. You want to, be involved in the process with them, so they're not doing it by themselves. Spend as much time as you can with them. You know, make sure they have a checklist. We had to make sure Kay had a checklist and was getting everything done, still letting her be independent though, letting her know this transition is real. We're not going to be there to do everything for you. So you're going to have to learn how to do this yourself. Give them that independence as much as you can. You're going to fight. You're going to love on them. You're going to cry. You're going to do it all. But enjoy yourself in the process too. Enjoy it all. Enjoy it. That's all I can say. Enjoy it all. Like, our dynamics are completely different. Me and Nicole's are completely different because her daughter is all she had. It was just her and her daughter. And that's why the transition is so difficult.
Yeah.
Because that she wrapped her whole life into her daughter.
Yeah.
Me, I still got 3 little munchkins that I got to take care of, and a husband and myself. And what I was going to add to another thing for me is I put my life back burner too. So I started taking classes for myself. So that's something I'm doing for myself too. I'm taking real estate classes so I can do some stuff too, because you can't stop your life completely. You still have to live your life and enjoy yourself.
That's right. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So Nicole, what would you say to parents who are, getting ready to, or, it's on the horizon?
Gena had already touched base on, and to, just piggyback on her, with what she said. So the summer before Kayla's senior year, I took Kayla on a college road trip. Like, we visited like 15 schools in the course of 3 weeks. So making sure you do. And one thing I do want to let parents know is that whole saying is, oh, my kid will fill out the application for scholarships theirself. They're not thinking about scholarships. And guess who's going to be paying for that school, that education? You are. So every scholarship Kayla got, she helped me with it, but I did it. And I'm not ashamed to say I did it because my kid got a full ride. So I was like, I'm paying all of $1,500 of her school, whereas her education is $30,000 a year.
Yep, Kaylin's too.
That's amazing.
Of being an out-of-state student, I pay $1,500, so I will gladly pay that, and I will gladly continue to keep doing scholarships and let her know, hey, this is what we're doing. Like when, and then also you want to know where your kid's mind is, because before I took Kayla on the college road trip, I said, her and her best friend, I said, what are some of the things you guys are looking for in schools? Right. I want you guys to come up. Just think of 20 about dorms, about classes, about sports, whatever it is. You want to, make them know that this is theirs. Let them know that they need to advocate for themselves, because you're not going to be there. So I do it enough for Kayla, and I've done it enough in her face for her to know that I got this. I can advocate for myself. Another thing, one of my biggest fears was of sending her off was that talk with Kayla, letting her know, if you don't feel comfortable with the way someone is talking to you, you don't have to be all, ghetto and wild with it, but you can pull them to the side. If you don't feel comfortable with where you are, you say something. And one thing you are not to do is please do not ever be caught on campus by yourself. Always find yourself with someone else, especially at night. You don't want to be out here by yourself. And I'm like, with Kayla taking her car to college with her, I definitely had to stress that point, because I want you to be safe. And yes, my cousin works at Grambling, and I also have a little cousin that goes there. So I'm a little comfortable, but knowing that this is all her, you definitely have to touch base on every aspect, that everything that could go wrong, think about that and talk to them about it. And I'll talk Kayla face off, and all the time she's like, I know, Mom. And then she'll call me and be like, I thought you knew. understanding communication.
See, that's a case in point, Nicole. You'll never be insignificant. They will always
Right.
need you.
That's right.
So, you know,
Although I can say, like, there are some highlights about Kayla not being here, because as everybody who know me and Kayla know that Kayla cannot eat poultry, eggs, fish, none of that. So not having her here and not having to cook for her and making sure she's eating, I'm good. You good? I'm good. So
okay, so you have to look at those highlights, right?
that's the highlight.
Right. Well, ladies, I appreciate your time. This has
It's
been,
a small one, but
I think y'all
baby
having
steps.
some technical stuff going on. But anyways, this is good stuff, good advice. Yes, good advice. And I appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing being so vulnerable and so transparent in your experience. And I know that this will bless somebody, this will help somebody. And I wish you all the best as you continue on this journey. And Joseph made a suggestion that if you would let us peek in after the spring break and at the end of the school year to check on you, see how you're doing, that would be really, really good to follow up with you all, because
Absolutely.
this has been real talk.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you. I love you, and praying for you, and reach out anytime. Anything we could do to support you along the way, and your resources we can offer, we are always here to help.
Thank you.
Yes. I can't hear you, Nicole.
Is she still there?
Of course. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show. Definitely, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. Like, I'm not the only one that's going through this. And there's light on the other side.
Absolutely. It's temporary. So one of the things I tell my parents when they're going through stages like this, don't make no major decisions right now. This is just temporary.
I mean, but I promise you, when you're going through it, it feels like the end of the world. Like,
it does.
Jesus, you coming?
It does. And it does. Like, you have a whole lot of people in your life, Nicole, who've gone through it and are on the other side. It doesn't make the pain any lighter, but hopefully it's encouragement that it does get easier. And so I'm going to say good night to everyone. Thank you for joining us for another engaging conversation on
Hi, everybody.
Right? Thank you all. Love you. Thank you
for having me. Love you too.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.